people, wake up with me. It's your man, Trayvon Pratt with AIM, always improving the mind, man. And we are back with another live for you guys. This one I'm going to have some fun with. This one is near and dear to me. This one is something that I repeatedly see and continuously have to talk about. So let's talk about it. Let me finish getting situated over this way. So I don't know if we live on Instagram just yet. Had a few technical difficulties again. You see we got our light back on. We was able to replace that. We was able to get that up and going. Let's see. Yeah, nah. I don't think we live on Instagram today. Yeah, Instagram not working with us. Okay. Since that's the case, shout out to everybody that's here. How we doing? How we doing? Let's see. Yeah, no, it's not working. Mm-hmm. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Boom. Did it do it? It did. All right. Trying to make some things happen, man. Trying to make some things happen. So, y'all know my tagline. My slogan is you can't have community without communication. Communication to so many people only registers as other people need to listen. That is not true. Or that is not it, excuse me. Of course, other people need to listen, but you yourself need to listen as well. So, what I want to do is break down the elements of effective communication. You see, most problems in life don't come from a lack of effort. They come from poor communication. I tell people most mishaps stem from miscommunication, right? Relationships fail from misunderstanding. Opportunities are lost from poor expression. You know, conflict escalates from unclear and mixed messages, right? So, effective communication, what is effective communication? Effective communication equals being clearly understood and understanding. That's it. Let's get the message across. A lot of people also think they're being effectively communicating when they are blunt or rude or brash, abrasive in their saying. So let's get into it. Let's break these things down and let's make communication as simple as it really is. We don't have to complicate everything. So, first and foremost, when it comes to effective communication, say what you mean what you say. I say that again. Say what you mean what you say. Say what you mean what you say. People talk in circles. They give hints, right? They want you to read between the lines and expect you to get it. They expect you to mind read. There's no such thing as mind reading. We make good assumptions. Sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. A lot of times it goes over the next person's head. Say what you mean what you say, so there's no in between. When people like take your words and try to mix them up, no, I didn't say that. What I said was, I understand what you might have heard, but we're trying to get to clarity. This is clarifying. It's simple to clarify what you say. When you say what you mean, and mean what you say. Um, Vagueness creates confusion and frustration. So I know you see like the sarcasm. Sarcasm is funny. And y'all know I love to laugh. Sarcasm is funny. But oftentimes it's not, since it's not direct, since it's not clear, a lot of people don't read sarcasm. If it's something that you want to communicate effectively, get rid of the sarcasm. Also, this is gonna, matter of fact, I'm gonna challenge everyone that's viewing. I'm challenging you, bro. You know, we got our sayings, our phrases at the end of whatever we say, and it becomes so common that we don't realize what we're saying. And those phrases are, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You feel me? You understand? You got me? You got it? Can you dig? All of those phrases means that you don't believe the message was received. I challenge you to get rid of those finishing phrases. You feel me? You know what I mean? I challenge you to get rid of those finishing phrases just for just for a day, just for a week. Try it out. Try to end your sentences in whatever you're trying to say without those finishing phrases. Now I mean, you feel me? And you'll find that you'll get your messages across. People will hear you, will understand you more clearly, and you could switch up things to say, like, instead of you know what I mean, it could be more direct, as in what I need from you is, this is what this is what has to happen, or this is how I feel. Like, get rid of the confusion, because if you have to ask, that means that you don't believe that you communicated effectively. But it's become so common, such a small phrase. This is why communication can be fickle. What's up, Robbie? We got my guy Robbie in the building. We're talking about the elements of effective communication. You ever been misunderstood? You ever had your words misconstrued? As in, like, man, I thought I said something and they took it the wrong way, or that was offensive, or, you know, how can we better communicate? Big bruh, my guy Flo in the building. Hey, shout out to the men, bruh. Shout out to the men this morning. And Instagram acting up on us, so we not over on Instagram. It's all over on YouTube and Facebook. Y'all come over to the Facebook. To the YouTube. Show some love there as well. So yeah, confusion is confusion is easy, right? Like we all could get, Sir Utley. Yeah, we got the men in the building. We here, man. The elements of effective communication. Of course, you get some claps. Of course, y'all get the applause. Shout out to everybody who up and rocking with us this morning. All love, man. But clarity gets respect. Clarity gets respect. So let's be more clear and more direct about what it is that we want to get across. You know, if we are just trying to be funny, if you are just, just like that, if you are just, just trying to chill or whatever, you don't have an actual message that you're trying to get across, then do what you do. But if you are if you're trying to effectively communicate, if you want to get this point across, then take away those ending phrases, say what you mean what you say, and bring some clarity. Get rid of the sarcasm, get rid of the riddles to try to get somebody to be on your same level or think like you think. Nobody thinks like you. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a gift. Nobody thinks like you, but we can understand each other. Say what you mean what you say. Next thing, listening. Listening, man. Listening is not just hearing. I say that again. Listening is not just hearing. Most people listen to respond. We don't listen to understand. Excuse me. We don't listen to understand. Um, I take myself, I say for myself, I can't stand when we are in mid conversation and that shine. Yes, bro. What am I? Which one I use?
Message!
What's the other one?
Message! Message!
I'm gonna play around with it till I got it right.
Message!
Hey, that shining, bro. Put that shine on. Shine Care Products, link in the description. Man, before I jump to the next one, my guy Robbie had a comment. He says, "True, effective communication saved my marriage." Boom. We always been misunderstood by not practicing reassurance, communication, and thoughtful communication. All goes into effectiveness, and I could sum all of that up with one word. It's empathy. You see, we get empathy and sympathy crossed. Sympathy is the lean on my shoulder. You can cry on me. It wasn't your fault. Don't blame yourself. That's sympathy. And I'm not throwing that completely away. But most of the time, we just need empathy. And empathy is simply understanding. Just because you understand does not mean you have to agree. Just because you understand does not take away your accountability. No, you still did what you did, said what you said. I could understand why. I could understand why you felt like you should. Whether I agree or not, that's different. But having empathy just makes you more mindful of the next person. And it's that simple. It's that simple, bro. And that's one of the things that we're missing. Ain't that crazy? We missing empathy. And that's like the key to effective communication. Have some empathy. So when it comes to people not listening, when it comes to people not listening, uh, they listen to respond, not to understand. I can't stand when I'm having a good conversation and the person or persons within the conversation starts interrupting me. They start assuming things. Remember, people don't think like you. I know people don't think like me. So they'll assume what I'm about to say and then get upset. You got upset at your own thought. That wasn't me. That's not what I said. That's not what I was about to say. But you're already upset. You're preparing for a disagreement, for a debate, for an argument. How about you just slow down in your mind, listen to what I got to say, try to understand it, and then respond? And that sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. You're talking about an extra 5 seconds in a conversation. It's really not. And then layer on that empathy, you can hear what somebody's saying, not take it personally, and allow them to just speak. More than likely, the conversation gonna flow. I might not put this out there, but you can navigate the conversation just by listening, right? Just by listening, we can land on a common ground. So try to listen to understand. Let's get rid of the interrupting, assuming, and projecting. These things kill communication. I mean, kill them. Once somebody starts projecting their own emotions, their own thoughts, they start reacting to their own thoughts, but putting it on you as if like you said or did something. That's when the conversation. I usually cut the conversation like, okay, look, we can't have this conversation right now. We'll circle back to it when we're in a better headspace, the both of us, because this ain't about to go. It's not about to go well. So, how we can improve our listening? Slow down because we want to rush everything. You may have a point to get across. That is part of communication, is talking and listening. Um, but let the other person speak. Let's not interrupt them. Let's not assume what they're about to say or what they feel, how they feel. Um, a lot of times we avoid certain conversations because, oh, I know that person. I know how they're going to react. I've been impressed by how many times I was wrong. I've been impressed by how many times I was wrong on my assumption of how that person was going to be about this conversation, about this topic, about whatever it is that needs to be addressed. So many times I thought this was going to be a tough conversation, and the person just was like, oh, okay, because I was able to communicate effectively, said what I meant what I said, stand on business without arguing, yelling, or being rude or belittling. Um, and it was like, oh, okay. Once it was understood, things just went in alignment. It was much easier than I thought it would be. And I'm like, this is it? Getting my own experience, how I led up to being the one talking about it is because I've put these things in place. I've had to live this. All right. So take a second. Let's get rid of how we gonna improve without listening. Let's get rid of the interrupting. Let's not assume. That, don't skip over that. That's huge. Let's not wow. Let's not assume and try not to project your own thoughts and feelings towards the next person. Pause before you reply. Okay? There's this technique called mirroring. This helps you and the other person. Mirroring is repeating back what you heard. This lets that other person know that you are listening. because you can't repeat what you heard if you're not listening. That's why a lot of times I know that y'all, the most common misunderstanding is an argument, right? And then a lot of times in an argument, it's like, did you hear me? Did you get it? You know, like you usually get that type of response. Are you even listening? What did I say? It's like, I heard you. You said such and such. That's not even close to what I said because you won't listen, right? I think we all have been there. I've been the one who had to do that. Like, you're not listening. I see you not listening. You're not paying attention to nothing I'm saying. And so, yes, pause before you reply. Repeat back what you heard, right? And ask clarifying questions. If you don't understand, you're not ready to respond. If you don't understand, you're not ready to respond. So let's not just jump in because that's how conflict can escalate. And now most mishaps stem from misunderstanding. Next thing, because I'm trying to knock this out. And I got something special for y'all at the end of this live. So stay tuned. Next thing, emotional control. It's not only what you say, oftentimes, more importantly, is how you say it. It's not always what you say. More importantly, is how you say it. Again, sarcasm is an example. You be like, oh, yeah, that's great. Obviously, it's not great, right? But then later, you be like, but I said that's great. Nah, bro, you wasn't clear. The tone can ruin the message. So attach the correct vocal tonality to whatever the message is. If you want to be clear, direct, be clear, direct. If you want to be sarcastic and funny, then have that playful intention in your vocal tone. Otherwise, if you switch those, if you are saying something that you are serious about, but you're saying it in a joking manner, don't be surprised when it's taken as a joke, right? I as simple as it may seem, we have to often check ourselves because we do this. This happens. This happens so often, so common that we don't even acknowledge it, right? And so many times, like I'm a mindset coach, but I'm a mindset coach more specifically for men. I mean, this is universal. This is not a gender thing, but my purpose is to talk to the fellas out here. We need more men out here. So oftentimes, if there's a debate going on or a dispute or it's about to escalate or something like that, I usually go to the guy. If it's between a guy and a woman, I usually go to the guy. Let me holler at you. You know what I mean? Got to catch myself. um, I usually go to the guy within the dispute. Or if it's two guys, let me separate y'all. Or sometimes the situation, I think y'all can handle this together. Where another element of effective communication, side note, just because you right does not mean you communicate it effectively. You could be right and still say something wrong. Don't let that go over your head. You can be right and still say something wrong. Another thing, life is not black and white. Look at all of this color, right? I say that because both parties could be right. Just because you right don't mean another person is wrong. So empathy, let's open up our minds to try to see another person's point of view, their perspective. right? And from there, so many arguments. I tell you, just with me and my wife alone, the arguments that we've had, a lot of times, both of us were valid. We just needed to find that understanding of what was the root, and then both of us had to take accountability. This is what makes for longevity in relationships, effective communication. That's one of the things, trust and effective communication. That's all you need for a longevity in the relationship. Everything else will flow from those two things, if you ask me. Trust and effective communication. And once one is neglected, so is the other. So when you stop putting in effort towards communicating effectively, that's when trust gets afflicted, because you could only trust a person based on their consistency. What are they consistently doing and showing you and saying to you? So if you're consistently doing one thing but saying another, then I got to go off of what you're doing. You're showing me something different than what you're telling me. It's ineffective communication. Can't trust that. So, emotional control. Your vocal tone can ruin the message. Make sure you're using the right tonality for the type of message that you want to get across. We could talk more about that in person. You want to know more about that? Message me, comment, what have you. Anger, defensiveness, and ego, those things distort communication, right? As I said before, you can be right and still communicate wrong. Your delivery determines the reception. How somebody will perceive the message is based on how you deliver the message. Come on now. Come on now. Next thing. Intent. Intent. What are your intentions, right? What's the impact that you're trying to make? I had to learn this one. I ain't gonna stunt. I ain't gonna hold you. What I say now is that your intentions have to be aligned with your actions. You ever you ever been hoodwinked? You ever been hustled? You had somebody that like, all right, bet. All right, bet. Hold on. We got some comments. We got Ugly. The YouTube link is the handle AIM Always Improving the Mind. Just search for AIM Always Improving the Mind on YouTube. Big breath. And Sir Utley says emotions are usually the universe dealing with an individual. That's an individual conversation. And I would love to hear y'all conclusion, allowing allowing a person to deal with their own emotions. Hmm. Allowing a person to deal with their own emotions. Again, what I see that as is not taking it personal, right? Yeah, man. Bro, we've been together since 17. I'm 35. I'll be 36 this year. Yeah, we're going on. Yeah. I've been with my woman for half my life, literally. You know what I mean? It ain't easy, bro. It ain't easy, but I'm gonna go ahead and give her hers. Ain't nothing but love. Gotta be, you know? Absolutely. So what I say now is your intentions have to be aligned with your actions. You could say something good, but your intent is to harm. I know you've seen, if you haven't been this person, I've been through a lot of these things. Some things I had to get right for myself. I've been a person, I will not be ashamed to admit that, somebody I feel like might have done me wrong. I have played the good guy just to get to them. You know what I'm saying? I've done that before. You know what I mean? Let me try to get you, by yourself. Then we could throw the ones type thing, um, without being clear about it. Like your intentions have to be aligned with your actions. This is why so many people have trust issues because you can talk good. You can talk good as I don't know what, but you don't have good intentions. Or maybe you just want one thing, right? But you're talking like this is forever. You're talking like you're saying all the right things. Your intentions have to be aligned with your actions. You're saying all the right things to get the result that you want. But just because you're saying the right things, do you have the intention to stand on those? So an example of that is like leading someone on. You're leading someone on. You're leading someone on. That's why what the parents always ask, what are your intentions with my child, with my daughter, with my son? What are your intentions? It's usually the daughter. But what are your intentions? Because if your intent is just to smash, you can leave now. And as men, pops usually see right through it. Usually see right through it. So what are your intentions? Your intention has to be aligned with your action. If not, of course, that's going to be ineffective communication, right? And if you don't intend to harm, then you wouldn't say such rude or brash things. Like if you don't intend to offend someone, why would you cuss them out, right? And then at the end of it, it's like that's not what I meant. That doesn't erase what you just had this impact. You just impacted that person, right? People judge communication by how it lands. What was your intention? What was your intention? Because if that's not what you intended, why did you come at me that way? Right? The miscommunications. If that's not what you intended, why did you come at me that way? Take responsibility for how you come across. A lot of people toss that to the side when it comes to communication. You don't want no accountability on that part. Why? Because that takes too much work to think about how to deliver a message. That takes too much effort. A lot of people say, hey, I tell the truth as it is. You can't handle it, so what? That's not it. The truth is the truth. Regardless of how you say it, if the truth need to be said, it's still going to have that impact. It's still going to have an effect. But you can tell the truth without being rude. You can say what needs to be said without being belittling. You can do these things. Trust and believe. I'm pretty blunt. I'm gonna say what's on my mind type person. So again, I had to learn these things. If I wanted to be more effective in my communication, remember I told y'all I was seen as a bully. I was a bully at one point. And I was like, in my heart, that's not what I want to be. In my heart, I wanted to be seen as a strong, protective man. But I came across as a bully. That was what I was communicating. That's my perception. That's not how I want to come across. So let me take responsibility of what I'm putting out there, right? Make the proper adjustments, and you'll get the feedback. You'll get the feedback. You'll get the feedback. The intent, your intentions is yours. The impact is theirs. Effective communicators respect both. Respect that, man. Next thing, because we knocking this out. Next thing, nonverbal communication, body language. I tell people I'm bilingual. I speak English and body language, right? You ain't got to say what you you don't got to say. Sometimes you don't got to say anything for me to understand how you feel. And a lot of guys don't get it. Like I be saying, like, oh, the woman is uncomfortable, and they still be applying pressure. I'm like, oh, like, stop. It's not. It's not. Wherever in your head you think this is going, it's not going there, bro. Stop. Like, just leave her alone. Just leave her alone. She uncomfortable. She don't know how to say no. You know what I mean? Um, Not only that, but then I be looking at like, oh, your legs shaking, you angsty, you ready to jump. That's when I'm like, all right, what's going on? Body language, bro. Nonverbal communication, eye contact, eye contact. If you want to show that you're listening and you want that person's attention, eye contact. Simple. Your posture. Your posture says a lot about you and your character. Your posture usually tells somebody whether or not you can. Your posture usually tells someone whether or not you can communicate effectively. Facial expressions. I know a lot of us say that we can't control those. Of course we can. I don't always. I let that thing go. You know what I mean? So if communication, if if that's the mode of communication I want to use, sometimes you don't want to hear my words, but you can see my face. Sometimes you don't need to hear my words, you just need to see my face to understand no, or what are you thinking, or disgust. Whatever it is that I'm conveying, oh, my face could tell it. Hmm? Confusion. Yeah, I'd be confused as ever at some people. Like some things just like, what? When people read energy before they hear words. So if your posture, your facial expressions, your body language is saying one thing before even having this conversation, um, you can read that too. Sometimes it's not the right time to say what it is that needs to be said. Sometimes it's never a right time, but you'll be able to depict those. But let's say, for instance, it's small but pivotal, small but important. You know what I mean? Um, does it have to happen right now? This goes back to relationship. Does it has to happen right now? Do they need to know right now? It looks like they done had a bad day. What else could go wrong? Type thing. Do they need a little bit more bad news or a stern figure over top of them, or do they need your compassion right now? Do they need space? Hello, How many of us guys just need some space every now and then? Shoot. Shoot. Like, you could have told me that later, or like, leave me alone right now, dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but people read energy before they hear words. Your presence is speaking before you open your mouth, and take that into consideration. So, um, I joke, right? At my job, uh, the management, we have specific return times that we're supposed to meet. But we are out amongst the customers. A lot of times I'll have a delay in that return time, and it's common amongst the management. It's because of customer interaction, which means people love to come and talk to me. But my demeanor, I emphasize communication, but it is my demeanor, my posture. Obviously, I'm shown as someone who's open to a conversation. People talk to me, and I appreciate that. That's purpose work for me because you can't have community without communication. So I want you to talk to me. I don't stop that. Does it affect my work? Yes. But that's a job. I'm always working purposefully. So that comes first, bro. So talk to me. Talk to me. Um, and that's what my presence gives. He's somebody that I could talk to. Man, woman, or child. Or animal. Shoot. Dogs come up to me. Birds be over, bugs. If you attracted all this life, your spirit must be right. Next thing. Next thing. Consistency. Man, consistency and accountability. This is, I think, other than listening, this is where a lot of us drop the ball because not only do you say what you mean, but follow through. Again, people can only trust what you're consistent at. If you're consistently procrastinating, I could trust you to procrastinate when it's crunch time. If you're consistently avoiding, I can trust that you're going to avoid. Whatever it is that you're consistent at is what the person can trust. So if you want to be heard and understood more, then you need to be consistent when it comes to effective communication. All of the things that we talked about, be consistent. Okay? Say what you mean and follow through. These mixed signals destroy trust. I tell people, you are never going to learn something by hearing it once, by doing it once. Everything that we learn, everything that we develop at, we have to do it repeatedly, over and over and over again, consistently, until we get better at it. That's how you get better at it. That's how you remember something. So we can't, everybody, when it comes to communication, like I said what I said, I don't need to say it no more. I said it once, that was it. That didn't resonate. Ask my wife. Ask my wife, bro. It'd be simple stuff like, I'm not good with dates. So she'll be like, hey, April 30th, such and such, we doing da da da. And I'd be like, okay. That was in February. March comes. Remember, April 30th, We da 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 da. Okay. April comes. Hey, remember, April 30th, we're doing da 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 da. Okay. I've heard it, right? I've considered that I've listened to it, but I'm focused on other things, so it didn't register, right? And then like a week before, I might say, "Oh, on April 30th, I'm gonna go with the guys." And da, da, da. But she would be like, "I done told you since February, April 30th, we doing da 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 da," and I'm like, "You did. I remember now." It takes repetition. Because I know somebody hear me. It takes repetition and consistency for communication to come across as well. Be prepared to repeat yourself. And this what a lot of people have a disconnect with. Be prepared to repeat yourself. We don't learn things, we don't grasp things usually on that first time, that first try, the first time we heard it. No. And we don't learn by that. They say you remember more of what you say and do than what you see and hear. This is why if you ever meet someone and they tell you their name and you just like, oh, okay, and you store it in your mind, by the end of that conversation, you have forgotten this person's name. Why is that? Because you remember more of what you say and do than what you see and hear. You see and hear way more things. That's way more information to process at all times. At all times. Do you know that we actually hear all the other things going on in the world? But your mind has categorized it for what's safe and what's not. So that way, it seems quiet outside. You're not hearing every single thing, every wind whistle, every bird chirp, every rock move, every bug flying, every person's conversation. You hear everything though, but your mind has categorized what needs to be heard. Same with sight. You see everything, but you're only looking at. Hello? You're only looking at something, but you see everything. Like your peripheral and everything is always on. You see it, but your focus is whatever you're looking at. So take that information into consideration. We learn more, or remember more of what we say and do than what we see and hear. So the next time you meet someone, they tell you their name. If you want to remember that person's name, say it back. Like, hey, I'm John. Okay, John, how you doing, John? By the end of that conversation, you can be like, that was a good conversation, John. It's nice to meet you, John, because you said it. But when they first come up to you, hey, I'm John, and this, and it's just like, oh, okay, mm-hmm. And you might even have a good conversation. But at the end, it's gonna be like, and your name was, if we're bold enough to say it. But most of the time, we just be like, yeah, yeah, because it's a little embarrassing that I don't even remember your name. We remember more of what we say and do than what we see and hear. Effective communication. So be prepared to repeat yourself, knowing that information. I go into conversations like, you're not going to remember most of what I tell you. Let's just be honest, it's not important until it gets your attention. Once it gets your attention and you deem, that person that's listening to you deemed you as somebody to listen to, they're not giving you their full attention. So I go into conversation knowing that you're not fully listening. I'm going to have to repeat myself. If it's something that I really want to get across, I'm going to have to repeat myself. Even even in funny situations. This is not always for serious situations, but even for the funny stuff, right? All of the jokesters, the class clowns, I've heard their jokes more than once. They repeat it. They do it in front of a different audience to try to land the joke and get the reaction. I want people to laugh. Is this actually funny? We ever have a roasting session where we all cracking jokes on each other? Everybody that's included. Every now and then somebody might say a joke, somebody else said a joke, they got more laughter. So when it dims down, when it comes back around, they'll say that joke again. And then they'll get the laughter. Be prepared to repeat yourself. Consistency in communication. Woo! And accountability. Say what you mean, then follow through. The mixed signals is what destroys trust. Okay? Don't say, what is it? Make sure your intentions are aligned with your actions. Don't say you care and don't show it. Don't tell me you love me, show me you love me. Hmm? Don't apologize and don't put forth any effort in correcting your behavior that you had to apologize for. Hello? Woo! Inconsistent communication creates unstable relationships. And that's not just man and woman, that's also in business and partnership, trust and believe, right? If we can't communicate or there's inconsistent communication, then we can't expect each other to be on the same page. We can't expect each other to understand or read each other's minds. Like, I thought this, I thought that. Well, let's get our thoughts out. We can get this clarified and we just communicate it, right? I think I got some more comments. Let me see. Yeah. Yo, what's up? Said I was there. You talking about the bully phase? Bro, I used to crash out, bro. Yes, yes. Oh man. So to close it out, that's big bruh. So to close this live out, recap, the elements of effective communication is clarity. Say what you mean what you say without being rude. Listening, listen to understand, not to respond. Slow it down. Let's not assume, right? Let's not project. Let's not interrupt. And that'll help us when it comes to listening. Emotional control. Get yourself together and make sure that you aren't layering that on to what is need to be effectively communicated. Intention. What are your intentions? Make sure your intention is aligned with your action. Don't say it and don't do it. Don't be one of those people that talk all that good talk, but you ain't walking. Hmm? The nonverbal, your posture, your body language, your eye contact, all of these things, your facial expressions, all of these things go into your nonverbal communication. Make sure that's aligned too. And last but not least, consistency. Be consistent with your communication to get this message effectively across. Now, I challenge you. I challenge you. Pick one area to improve this week within communication because better communication builds better relationships, better opportunities, better life, better communities. You can't have community without communication. That is the Mindset Monday for today. This morning, man, ain't nothing but love. And I told you I got something special for y'all at the end of this live. If you tapped into this live, I have an audio book that would definitely help when it comes to communication. Um, Anybody wants that audio book, comment, DM, reach out, let me know. I'll send that to you directly, personally. If you want to go look for the book yourself, it's called Never Split the Difference by author Chris Voss. And I like the audio book. So this book was written by a FBI negotiator who explains everything in life can be negotiated. He's negotiating life and death situations, right? And he was considered one of the best, if not the best. And imagine that. Imagine that. What has to go into being, how can you be the one who talks down somebody from killing people, from killing themselves, from, terrorist activity, from bank heists, from, all types of things, real life situations. The elements of effective communication are a necessity to negotiation. So that's why I would recommend that book because it has things in there like mirroring. And he has, he deep dives on mirroring, like why repeating back. Because the most common human yearn is to be understood. And oftentimes people go off the deep end when they feel misunderstood. They've been misunderstood for so long that they relinquish morality. They let go. They stop trying. They go crazy. And I put that in quotes because that's cause and effect. Um, and just empathy, man. Empathy can be so simple. But I would definitely share that resource with all of you whom are interested. Please respond, reach out. Until next time. Oh, another thing. Uh, be on notice. I will be posting, but I also will be doing an in-person seminar on this very topic, the of the elements of effective communication. We will be hosting that Life Lab, that workshop at the end of this month. So be prepared for that as well. Much love to everybody who's here. Until the next live, I'll see you. Peace. Love, man.